Chris. And the final speaker in this session is Fiona who is talking about a reactionary case study involving Troy. Fiona really likes fluffy jumpers. Fiona, ready, steady, go.
Thank you, Steve, and hello, fellow revolutionaries. Yes, my mission tonight is completely different from the one Steve thought it was. It's to actually create a revolution in tracking, specifically advertising tracking. I'm not a researcher by trade, I'm a planner, but I got fed up of not getting what I needed, so I jumped the other side of the fence. Okay, so what's wrong with current advertising tracking? Well, first of all, TV. That was no good to me. I wanted to find out about direct marketing and experiential and word of mouth product experience. I wasn't getting it. And the next thing that I had a problem with was the way that consumers answered their research. They would always default to big brands, big media, so I thought I'd test it out. We did a research with a panel of 1,500 people. 18% of them had seen Marlboro advertised in the last 3 months, 23% on TV. So that just said to me that there was a bit of a problem with the data coming through. And I don't know if anyone else has had this, but I used to get fed up sitting in a debrief 3 months after the campaign had been out. It basically meant it was too late for me to do anything about it, and I wanted to be able to change things as they were kind of moving, because at least I'd have a chance to sort things out that hadn't gone quite as well as I hoped. And as anyone who works below the line knows, it's not just content, it's actually the context that's really important. So we know when we put direct mail into a consumer group, oh, it's junk mail, never do anything with it. They get one of these, and they're just about to renew their insurance, they phone the number. So it's all about context. Anyway, what we wanted to do here is, we've come up with Troy. There are lots and lots of different ways that you can do this, so this is just our approach to it. But what I'm hoping is that other people will join in, join the revolution, and start to change the way we do tracking. And the first way that we look to change it is we've made our participants into researchers. Not such a bad idea. This is one of our participants. She sent this photo in just so we could get to know her, and she's there with Lou at the disco. She was doing some research for us on bottled water, so that was what she was doing. The interesting thing is, if you make them researchers, they take the job really seriously. I mean, we've seen that from the professional respondents. But look what she says, I felt like I was an important part of the study. She got very engaged in this, sending photos, telling us all about what was going on. So actually, it was quite important. We got better data out of her than you might otherwise have expected. Now, of course, we have to get all the normal things you'd expect in a tracking study. So we get the brand image, the advertising awareness, the brand health questions, the usage, we do all of that, and surprise, surprise here, you'll see that most people on bottled water had seen the brands on TV. Just good to know, because that's what we had coming up. Where we go and do things differently is we actually ask people to collect the data in real time. So we actually get them to text every time they see, hear, or experience anything to do with one of the brands that we've asked them to look at. So here they're texting A for Evian, B for Volvic, A if it's on TV, B if it's newspapers, and they let us know how it made them feel. Now, of course, if you get that data, what you can see is you can see things in real time. So here we've got exactly when Lou and her friends were doing their purchasing of bottled water. Me purchasing was a touch point, and it's at lunchtime and after work. You can also see what else she's got in the shopping basket, because she showed us the photos that came in. One thing I used to get a bit frustrated about when I sat in tracking studies was they were always quant. I never got any kind of qual stuff coming through. But here you can see we've got someone who saw a poster for Volvic, felt very positive about it on the way to work, desperate for a drink. And she actually went and bought Volvic later on. That gives me a bit of colour, I think. So how are we getting the colour? Well, we actually get people to have their own diaries. So every text goes into their own My SMS diary, and then they can have lots of fun. They upload their photos, they comment on it, they put video footage into it, and they really get into it. It's their own little diary. You can get things that are a little bit shocking though. I mean, we have seen those coming through. On the left hand side, this was actually a picture of a bomb that somebody sent in on a bottled water survey. So it kind of reminds you that the way that consumers see things isn't always the way that we might be expecting them. And we've had some remarkably frank things that have come through the diary. This is not the X-rated one, but there are other things like that that come through. And of course, it's different touch points come through. You're not just seeing the normal kind of TV things. Here, this respondent had heard a song mentioned Evian mentioned in a song by Royal Deep, and she really liked it. So, going back to that first chart that you saw, where we saw TV up there for Volvic, Evian, and Petcha, where's TV now? This is the mobile tracking, and you have to go right the way down to there to actually find the TV advertising, even below newspaper and magazine advertising. So you collect data differently, you get different results. It also means, if you've got it in real time, that you can feed it into a client dashboard so they can see straight away if their campaign is actually working. So TV goes out, an hour later you're seeing it coming up on your monitor. Very Minority Report. And finally, if you actually want to kind of get in down there and speak to consumers, we've got a boardroom. So what we do at the end of a study is we say, okay guys, do you want to go into a boardroom, have a chat with everyone else about what's going on? And that means then that your clients and agencies can actually have a chat with the consumers and ask what they think. And finally, I don't know if anyone's been in any debriefs where there have been 120 PowerPoint slides and people have fallen asleep. It's embarrassing, but you know, some of those things do happen. And we want to make sure it doesn't. It's really important how we communicate research. So we like to kind of create insight activation events to get people engaged in the data. So, first of all, what I'd say is we need to change the rules. We need to make our respondents researchers. We need to collect data in different ways. And we need to communicate our findings in a way that actually engages our clients. So what I'd like to ask the Brighton Revolutionaries tonight is, are you up for it? Are you up for changing research in this way? And if so, I want you to shout yes now. Okay, yes. Brilliant. Thank you very much. We need to change track.
Thank you very much, Fiona.